Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Some travel agencies are calling on the government to end trophy hunting. They say it's cruel and unacceptable. The agencies insist that responsible wildlife-friendly tourism can provide income and incentives to protect animals. To discuss this further, we are joined by Edith Kabesiime from World Animal Protection. Thank you very much, Edith, for your time here on ENCA. Now, firstly, I know that the issue that is raised is about this particular sport in South Africa. So how prevalent is it? Are we a country that is bad in terms of this particular sport?
Yeah, actually, first of all, thank you so much and good afternoon, viewers. Certainly, South Africa is one of the, if I should say, it's the biggest player when it comes to trophy hunting as a sport and as a type of tourism. A lot of research has actually indicated that majority of trophies that are exported, some of the countries like the US, like the UK, Australia, and other really big countries where majority of trophy hunters come from, South Africa really takes the biggest share in terms of the volumes. Maybe I don't have the numbers off cuff, but certainly it's the biggest boy on the block when it comes to trophy hunting. Yeah.
So what's the solution then? What do you think should happen? Do you think we should go as far as criminalizing it?
Of course, I would like to start from the fact that every individual animal matters. And of course, what now we are saying is that South Africa really should consider removing trophy hunting from its books of law. It should no longer legalize it. And indeed, I should say it should be, I don't know whether to call it criminalized, but it should be made illegal so that it's no longer allowable and permitted in South Africa. Because, I mean, we are receiving deafening evidence, both from responsible tourism, especially international tourists, but as well as big travel companies, the likes of Booking.com, the likes of Expedia, the likes of TripAdvisor, and many more others who are saying, we think this is the time for South Africa to dump trophy hunting so that it becomes the thing of the past. Because shifting away from trophy hunting and moving towards more wildlife-friendly tourism, I think will set South Africa on the right path, way to regain its glory as, a destination of choice when it comes to tourism, nature-based tourism.
So what's the perception of the international world when it comes to trophy hunting and the fact that you're saying South Africa is one of the biggest players?
From an international perspective, maybe I should go back. A couple of weeks ago, World Animal Protection released a research which actually indicated that over 80% of international tourists that were sampled in 10 countries, which are major suppliers of tourists to South Africa, over 80% indicated that actually they are against the practice and they believe South Africa would become a more attractive destination if it dumped trophy hunting. If we come back home in South Africa, again, that research indicated that over 70% of South African citizens, again, do not support this practice and they believe it will continue to damage its reputation, and it's the time really for the country to move away. And this is an opportune time because currently the government has opened consultation on its new white paper regarding the conservation and sustainable use of biodiversity. And this is an opportune time. The government should actually reflect on this practice and the right time to remove this from, stop permitting it as one of its approaches to conservation and sustainable management of the country's wildlife
All right, so you think that this should be part of policy in government, and different government institutions need to discuss probably adding it to a policy that South Africans will not be allowed to participate in trophy hunting on South African soil.
Exactly, because, I mean, on the African continent, a number of countries like Kenya and others have moved away from it. There is still just a handful of countries, especially in the SADC region, that are promoting this practice. But, I mean, the writings in the world that there is growing opposition to this practice, leave alone the growing opposition, but it's also impacting on wildlife populations in some of the countries like Tanzania, even in South Africa, because there is no scientific proof actually that trophy hunting supports conservation. Even if it did, individual animals matter. If we go back to that point, animals are sentient beings, and each and every individual plays a very important role in nature, and that is where we are coming from. And these travel companies are joining the movement, and I think it is high time that South Africa listened, and all the other governments like Zimbabwe, like Botswana and others that continue to allow shooting of these very iconic species just for pleasure. Yeah.
Especially because we're a country that's known for the Big Five, right? Thank you very much for your time here on ENCA. That is Edith Kabesiime. Kabesiime, rather. She's speaking to us about trophy hunting and how they are pushing for it to be legal in South Africa.